Okay, now let's go to the next one. There's something called Psalm Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, Muslims are commanded to fast during the daylight hours, from the time the sun comes up until it goes down. And in those hours, they mustn't eat, they mustn't drink. Is it the same for men as it is for women? Well, yes, exactly. The same time? Yes. Same restriction? Yes. But wait. During the monthly cycle for the woman, well, she doesn't fast either. So she doesn't pray and she doesn't fast, but now she's getting the reward of all of her prayers. And prayers in Ramadan are huge. They could be 70, 700, 7,000, the maximum. And Allah will give it to her because she's not supposed to pray during this time. And she doesn't have to make up those prayers. But she can make up the days she misses any time throughout the year. She must make them up, but she can choose the time that she would like to make up those days. What if she'd like to do them in the winter when it's short days and it's real easy? Or if she lives on the other side of the equator, maybe she'd like to do it in the summer when the days are short and it's real easy. It's her choice. And I've asked women, would you like to change that? No, that's fine. In fact, about now is when the men will tell me, hey, wait a minute, hold on a second, we want equal rights. But now let's go to the fifth pillar of Islam. What is the fifth pillar? It's called Hajj fil Baytullah. The Hajj or pilgrimage to the house of Allah in Mecca. Now this is long established. It used to be mentioned as Becca. In the Quran it's called Becca, and in the Bible it's called Becca. This is the place where Abraham and Ismail, his son, went and established certain rituals which are revived by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and brought back to us through the Quran 1400 years ago. And that's how we know to perform this pilgrimage which was established, as we said, many centuries before Muhammad, peace be upon him. Is it the same for the men and the women? That's our question. And the answer is absolutely yes. Except not exactly. Both of them have to do it. When Allah makes a way, and it's safe, you have the money, you must go. But it's only in Dhul Hijjah, the month of Hajj. All right? Now, for the woman, must she do it? Absolutely. If she has a mahram. What is a mahram? This is a male relative who is mature. It can be her father, her husband, her brother, or a grown son. Any of those can be mahram for her. But suppose she doesn't have one. Many women are coming to Islam today, choosing to submit to God and do what He wants them to do. Wonderful. And they come into Islam and they're so happy. Now they have this good connection with Allah. But what about Hajj? How can I do it? Well, she doesn't have a male relative that's qualified to be a mahram. Good news, ladies, because she doesn't have to. In fact, she's commanded not to do so. She shouldn't do it unless she has a mahram. But on the Day of Judgment, Allah will give her an accepted Hajj. Her Hajj, her pilgrimage will be accepted. And the good news for this is that any woman who has the intention to do so will have the full reward of Hajj. And it's much smarter if you think about it. You've got something they call bird in the hand, right? You don't have to trade it off and try to make Hajj and do something difficult. It's yours already. Unless you have mahram, and then of course you would go. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Well, there's some more. Even when she does go with a mahram, the man has to put on the two wraps, the two big towels, we call them, you know? And now he will be wearing a lower garment and an upper garment and nothing else. He'll have no clothes underneath it. He won't even have on a hat or anything with sewn material. And he'll have to go through the whole entire Hajj like this until he completes certain rituals. It's not easy, especially if you think about it. Maybe he's coming all the way from New York or some other place far away, and he's in these two towels, and that's it. For the lady, she merely makes her intention for Hajj. She makes her intention for the Hajj, and that's it. Isn't that nice? Then she can wear whatever she likes to wear. whatever normal clothes are. Now, in this condition, she must not cover her face. She mustn't. So some women who cover their faces would be required to remove it. Unless some man is too close to her, and then they can put it back on if they normally like to wear one. Now, what about covering the hair? Yeah, she'll cover the hair. The man can't cover his hair. So there's a difference. Who is getting the benefit out of all of this? Well, both. The man gets a benefit from all of this, and a woman gets a benefit. But it's according to their needs from the one who created them. It is only Allah who really knows what He created. And He is the one telling us what to do. Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not make up Islam. In fact, some of the things that he said at his time, Allah made sure people knew this was not what He commanded, and He even said it in the Quran. I'd like to just give you one example about that, so you'll know this is not a man-made religion. The Prophet Muhammad was deceived by his wives over some subject. One of them had some honey called asal, and he loved honey. So he would stop by her place and get some honey and then go on to his other wife. Well, she was very jealous about that. So what she did, she told him, your breath smells it. What is that smell? Now in Islam, if you have bad breath, this is not a good thing. You don't want to go around people with bad breath, and it affects them, especially in their prayers. They're trying to concentrate on salah, and they have this smell. That's why we're told, don't eat onions or garlic before you go to pray. Makes sense, okay. Then his wife told his other wife, hey, you know what? Tell him his breath smells bad after he comes from eating the honey. So they did. So then he thought, oh, if my breath is bad from this, then this must be included along with onions and garlic. So he said, this is forbidden. But then Allah revealed a verse in the Quran clearly telling him, you don't forbid what I didn't forbid. By the way, you can read the whole story in the Quran, chapter 66, Surah At-Tahrim, that which is forbidden. And as you read the explanation, the verses that go along with this, you'll be surprised to learn that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is being chastised. You don't make something haram that I didn't make haram. It's a good lesson for all of us not to make things forbidden that Allah didn't make forbidden. If you would like to get more about this subject, about that surah, you can go to our website, qtafsir.com. Qtafsir, Tafsir.com. And then you'll see where it says verses. Click on that, and it will give you a chance to read about all of the chapters, all the verses, and explanation from Ibn Kathir, translated to the English language. And by the way, while we're on the subject of websites, let me give you this one before we wrap up. And that is islamswomen.com. ISLAMSWOMEN. islamswomen.com. You need that S in there to connect them. Islam, S, women, okay? Don't put Islam Women, that's somebody else's website. islamswomen.com. You're going to find a lot of great stuff over there. We have videos, audios, even have a game in there that you can play. You let the kids play that game and learn more about what Islam really teaches, what it really says. To give women their proper rights. Because in Islam, we don't talk about equality, because it isn't equal, because men and women are not the same. But it's something better, equity. Dr. Jamal Bedawi came up with this several years ago and explained it to us. He said it is equity that we're looking for. A man needs to get what he needs, and a woman needs to get what she needs. And our needs are not exactly the same. One of the comparisons that we heard mentioned about this is going to the toilet. And they said, when you have a public toilet, don't you have one for women and one for men? In any country, in any language, you have a word for men and for women. And you have a proper place for them to use the bathroom. True? They even have different fixtures inside of the toilet for men and for women, because they're built different. And if you understand that, then you should begin to understand that you cannot make it exactly the same for both. It wouldn't be fair, it wouldn't be right, it wouldn't make any sense. It is important to give people what they need, not what you want them to have. And so this is what Islam is giving us from our Creator. So as we surrender and submit to Him, as we serve Him, as we are sincere with Him in peace, all of these, this is the word Islam, then this is our relationship to Him. And we accept whatever He gives us, and we do it in peace. I hope that we were able to explain this in a clear and simple way in the English language. And until next time, for Guidance TV, this is Yusuf Estes wishing you peace. And don't forget, get guided with Guidance TV. Assalamu alaikum.